Hey, hey, just wanted to get in touch with you. It's about 2 in the morning. I just came back from New York City. Was attending something very nicely done. To give you an idea, was this. There's this school that they built in Nigeria. A friend of mine decided me to take. Just an idea just to see it. And I mean, there's donations and stuff like that. That was done. But I want to show you something. This is something that, again, when you see it, this is your taxpayer money, just to keep in mind. And this is right now just New York, but just keep one thing in mind when I say this. New Jersey's doing it too. So, you know, it's not necessarily something that, I'm going to brag about, but it's not in this. But I was given a chance to look at some pictures in the invitation, which isn't this, but it's very similar. Now, how many of you are familiar with cargo ship containers? And I'm talking about the big ones, the ones that are about almost like a trailer length and bigger than a garbage truck, which you have to figure 34 cubic yards. So you're taking something that's bigger than that, a little taller than that, and 3 of those. And they're going to Nigeria, okay? And other people are doing this too. The whole point I'm bringing up is imagine the estimate of 10, $20 million of stuff just being thrown out and it's not even barely touched. Books. You have curriculums in New York that cost about $4 million, okay? And you're talking about for the year, for the student populace, and that is going to be used for that purpose. So unless you can do the math and see it for what it is per student and put all that together, can you imagine when good old Bloomberg, the poster boy for all this, decides that he's going to take this and throw it away? And this is what happens when your school gets closed down. They don't donate it. It goes out into a dumpster. So a person decided that they were going to take this. Again, it could probably use it for a tax write-off. But got permission. Also took their own money and donations and was able to accumulate all this so that other students, and it's going to another country, and, and it's going to be education. I mean, but again, your tax money. Now, how many of you are pissed? I'm not blaming the person. I mean, they used their brains who decided to help other, unfortunate kids. And again, the idea of having someone say that what we're doing here is like a fool's paradise, it's been made that way. Okay? Your hard-earned money, that's also going to these jackass politicians and other union high officials, okay, and people that are in the Board of Ed. And again, think about this because Jersey's doing it too. Governor Christie, are you paying attention? If you really want to start giving the smackdown, and again, I'm not looking to deter or hurt the people that have done such generous, things to help other kids and where it's going elsewhere. But, you know, there are people who could donate that could do this just as well if they wanted to do so. And, instead of having not just those in other countries, what about those who are poor and unfortunate here? So, as much as I see good that's still out there, there are people who are using their brains and taking advantage of what is a bad thing and using it for a good purpose. But unfortunately, we're not doing it here. It's sad. It's sad. I'm offended. I could be blowing up angry. It's 2 in the morning, so. But I just wanted to calmly share this with you because I'm not pissed at this person. And as far as it goes, what they're doing to help their own fellow people. But in America, I'm talking to you. And it's time to seriously pay attention to these jackass politicians and these so-called union people that don't care. All right? Now, I'm not talking about the teachers themselves, because they bust their hump. And with the current way things are written, especially with this No Child Left Behind, it's a piece of crap. It needs to be revised. There are parents and children that need to be responsible and accountable for what they need to do at home, regardless of the fact that they work. And there are people that are doing it, that are responsible parents. And, it's more or less the ones that don't give a damn, that need to be dealt with. And that's where I'm going with that. In politics, just as much. Those that don't give a damn, this is why 20 million per container, and that's just a guesstimate, because you figure you could go to a place where they have medical equipment where they train, and that's at least $4 million or more, or even $2 million. That when your tax money goes to replace this stuff, when it gets thrown out, guess where it's going? Places like Nigeria. Think about that for a minute. That's your money. Gone. And, who created this? This is what liberalism and socialism is doing to our country. This is what liberalism and socialism and these stupid politicians that are laughing at you. And at the same time, we have ourselves to blame. Because do we really care? Do we care enough that we're going to do something about how we throw money away? Or are you just going to sit there on your ass? And not that I'm knocking. It's going to a good use. It's not here. Just like the 70 million, 75 million, or billion that could be going over when it comes down to our own oil. And we don't see that money again. It goes to a country that hates us or wants us wiped out. Or, as far as it goes, they're going to have us by where it hurts. Wake up. That's all I can say. Because, there's enough of us that are starting to open our eyes. But as much as I see good elsewhere and where it's going elsewhere, we need to also be doing something here. And the money also should be here just as much. Think it over, because it's who you elect, and not just this portion around, but in 2016 as well. And, do we want to continue to have bad laws, bad policies, bad executive orders, and idiots making decisions that, unless we really think about what is affecting and for our children, including our education system, I think it's time we remove these jerks that do not deserve to be making decisions for us. We need to be telling them we're making it for ourselves. And you just don't cut the cake. We're tired of you eating it too. Because obviously you're getting your pockets lined. And although there are people that are taking advantage of certain things. And, again, over in Nigeria, they're benefiting from it. Which is good for their country, because that'll bring them up. But what about our education system here? What about the money that we need to be doing something about it when it comes to the wasteful spending? And obviously they don't care about the 2, 4, 10, 20 million that are being thrown away. And we could be doing something with these books. Bloomberg's willing to take this and throw it out. And, charter schools. Well, you know what? Screw you, Bloomberg. Because I think you need to be called out. A union can only go so far, because, it's almost like slitting your own throat. And you're talking to somebody that's also a union member. But you know what? I can understand where the taxpayer's coming from. I'm not afraid to say it, though. Because you could be thrown out, and it's up to New York. I was born there, but I don't live there. But I live in New Jersey. And, yeah, it bothers me in a way, because I pay for that too. And I'm sick and tired of seeing waste. We shouldn't be throwing stuff that's still usable and still needed here. And if the curriculum needs to be done, I think it's important. But where we hold teachers accountable, there are plenty of responsible teachers, but we don't do anything to protect them. But when it comes to the sleazeballs and do-nothings, and those that just want to sit there and collect a paycheck, obviously they've got their bases covered. And the ones that care, they get screwed. So they're damned one way or the other way. We need reform. Just like when it comes to healthcare. We need something that has common sense to it, though. And, there are those that can still benefit, even overseas. But we need to do something here to help our own system and make a change where it matters here. So what is it going to be?